Hello, everybody, and welcome to the World Series preview, powered by Terry TV. I'm your host, Brian Mansell, and joined for the first time, our director, our main producer, David Schoen. How are you doing today, David?
Doing very well, Brian. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
My pleasure. So, Nationals, Astros. Who would have saw this coming?
Yeah, 2019 World Series is going to be a real slugfest. I think it's going to be a really great series. Personally, we were talking about this before the show. I think that the Astros are going to pull it out, but I think that the Nationals are going to get a couple of games in there.
Okay, whoa. Slow your horse down. Slow your horse down. Give it a second, okay? The Nationals are amazing this year. They surprised everybody. As a wild card team, I didn't know what to expect. Everyone thought they were going to be out by the Dodgers. Dodgers were going to knock them out. No problem. But also because of the fact they didn't have Bryce Harper. Not having Bryce Harper created a narrative that the Nationals weren't going to be the same team. They weren't going to be good. All of a sudden, they knock out the wild card team barely. We're sold on the fact the Dodgers are going to sweep them. Mm-hmm. They lose. The Nationals win the series in 5. They go to the NLCS. We're sold on the fact that the Nationals can't beat the Cardinals. No way. The Cardinals are too good. The Nationals sweep them. They're in the World Series.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, we're now believing that the Astros are going to absolutely destroy the Nationals. So the question is now, do you think the Nationals are going to pull it off again, anyway?
I don't know if they'll take home the championship this year, but I think they're going to put up a good fight. I think they could win. Well, I'll save that till the very end when we do our predictions. But as for their starting pitching, I think it's phenomenal with Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, Anibal Sanchez, who's been great this postseason.
Don't forget Patrick Corbin.
Patrick Corbin, too. That's another great name, too. I mean, they've been firing on all cylinders. Their defense has been phenomenal with Ryan Zimmerman at first base, people like that. Soto has also been good with hitting. And I think they're just an all-around good team right now. They're just kind of playing extremely well. To your point, they were not favored in the wild card against the Brewers, and they barely made it past the Dodgers and Cardinals. The Cardinals they swept, but the Dodgers was very close. So I think they're going to put up a good fight. Should be a good series.
Well, we'll have to see. But one of the things I love how you mentioned about Strasburg and the success of Max Scherzer as well, and their entire pitching unit. But let's also talk about their bats here. Anthony Rendon, Ryan Zimmerman, you've got Howie Kendrick. All three of them have done so well this series. And back to what you said on Juan Soto, he's actually one of my reasons why the Nationals will have to win this series, and it has to do with him. But we'll get to that after the Astros, who I'm going to jump to right now, because we have to talk about Jose Altuve. Jose Altuve has been arguably the best player in the MLB postseason. I mean, think about it. He has a 3.49 average, 5 home runs, 8 RBIs, and a .767 slugging percentage throughout the postseason. I mean, it's been amazing.
He's been a phenomenal player. There's a big reason why he won the MVP for the ALCS, especially for hitting that walk-off home run in Game 6. But he's been a great player, and it shows that I think last year he was injured, at least against the Red Sox in that championship series, and now he's kind of come back to full health, and he's been playing better than ever, arguably.
He has, and that's the big thing. And the number one thing also is the Astros pitching is very good too. Garrett Cole, and I'm not joking, I'm not making up this stat, 0.40 ERA. He's only given up 1 run in all of his starts so far. Every appearance he's had, he's only given up 1 run throughout all of them.
Correct. Yeah,
he's been amazing.
He's been their best starting pitcher to this point, and they have Verlander, who's great. I know that he had that weird game after a couple days rest, but they've been doing pretty well starting pitching-wise so far. And that was against the Yankees, too. That was a tough opponent to face.
The Yankees were a tough opponent. We don't even want to talk about that. All New York fans are still sore about that game. So we're not even going to touch on that. But, I think it's important now that we jump into how the Nationals can beat the Astros. Because we all know the Astros can win based off taking advantage of breaking balls. Yeah. Because that's how they beat the Yankees. That last pitch by Chapman that Altuve hit on was another breaking ball back-to-back, same pitch. Mm-hmm. And that's what Altuve took advantage of, and he knocked out the park and sent them to the World Series. Yeah. So the thing here is now the Nationals, how can they beat the Astros?
Nationals is going to have to be defense. I think that their starting pitching, they have to keep it very low. Their bullpen has been getting better ever since they were one of the worst teams in May. They've been getting better with the bullpen.
Especially with Daniel Hudson.
Daniel Hudson, too. Sean Doolittle, too. I think that they've been phenomenal down the stretch. Keeping teams under a run or two in the latter half of the innings, that's where teams wind up losing games. You saw it with the Brewers. I mean, they were fine up until the 8th inning, and then that 8th inning happened, and now the Nationals are all this way. And I think that that's their best bet, starting pitching.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there, but I think the number one deciding factor here is we have to talk about Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Honestly, you were saying he's been doing well the playoffs. I have to disagree. I think so far Juan Soto has been the problem that the Nationals have to solve.
That's true.
Juan Soto has not produced the same that he did in the regular season. He's sitting at a 237 average right now. That is not good. He needs to get production in now. Plus his slugging percentage is not even at 500. That's a problem. He needs to get hot now, and this is the worst timing. So he needs it now or else they will not get advantage here. And on top of that, the Nationals need to have strong performances from Corbin and Sanchez. I guarantee you, if all four of their starting pitchers have strong performances, the Nationals will win the World Series this year. So off that note, who do you got taking it this year for the World Series? Who's taking home the chip?
My prediction for the World Series is the Houston Astros in 6 games.
Well, I pretty much expected that, but you know what? After everything I've read on the Astros and on the Nationals, and based off the situation, I'm going to have to go with the Washington Nationals 4-2. They're going to take it in 6 games.
I think it's going to be a great series, and I think both teams are going to get a couple wins. I think more than 2 wins apiece. Myself, personally, if we're talking about biases, I'm sort of rooting for the Nationals a little bit because they are this very up and coming
I agree with you. I'm
so.
rooting for the Nationals too.
Yeah.
But I'm also saying I'm actually committing to the hype. So
Sure,
we'll see what
sure.
happens.
Yeah,
But
we'll see.
thank you for coming on, David. I really appreciate having you here.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
And that's
it.
going to do it for us here at the World Series preview. We'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody.